Hey, how's it going, guys? Savior TCG here, and I'm back with another decklist profile. Some of you have been asking me for this decklist profile, so here you go. We have Enel, our 4-life yellow leader. Very good leader because of the effect. I like the leader because of the effect. I'm mostly the effect than the character. Character is okay. I like Enel. Enel's cool, but you know the effect is just super strong. So once per, obviously, your opponent's turn, once per turn. If you have 0 life, you may add a card from the top of your deck to your life, and then you have to trash a card right after. Note to self: if you have 0 cards in hand and you still have this effect, you could still heal. Even if you have 0 cards in hand, you can heal because it does say you heal, then you trash a card. So you're basically good. But I know yellow leader 4 life, which is again why he's a 4 life, because he's very, very strong. Sorry, I sound a little stuffy. I apologize. So I'll just leave him here. So our first card is 4 Sanjis. So I like the Sanji. It's a very strong card. It's a 2k counter, 2 cost, 3000 power, and the ability is when you swing, you need 2 Dawn attached to him, though, so you swing 5 regardless. You take the top or bottom card of your life, so top life or bottom of life, and then you add it to your hand, and then you add a top card of your deck and add it to the top of your life. So I like this card because you can do that. You can do combos with this as well. It just depends on the situation, but if he survives the turn, survives a turn, then you're good. Obviously against Sakazuki, it's tough because if they have Houndblaze, they can just Houndblaze it easily. So, but Sakazuki will be gone soon, but I like this card, 2k counter, very good. Not searchable though, because we're not running the putting searcher in the starter, so I'll leave it here for now. Our next 2 costs, and also a 2k, is one of the new cards, Land of Wano. Hiyori! Hiyori's a very, very, very good card. 2k counter, 2 cost, unfortunately 0 power though, because you know it's Hiyori. But obviously on play, you can take the top card or bottom card of your life, and then you can add it to your hand, and then replace the card with a different card. Or if you want to see what's in the top of your life, then just play the card, and then you just see it's a trigger that's useful early and all, and then just keep it there. If not, you want to switch it up. So definitely good to make plays with this, especially with the Sanji, because if you have 4 Dawn, you could, what's it called? You could use the Hiyori effect first. You could basically add the card that you want to add to the top of your life, right? And then with 2 more Dawn, you use it on Sanji, you swing, and then take the bottom life of the card and then replace it, and then add a new card from the top of the deck to the top of your life. So basically, say, this is the Sanji you're attacking with, and then this is the life right now, right? You play Hiyori, right? You take this card, right, add it to your hand, and you replace it with whatever card. And then you use Sanji effect, and then you take the bottom, and then take the top life, add it on top. So you basically can set up your life, which is really good. This is why I like this combination. Very good. They're both counters. So don't use them too much, because then you're going to end up running out of 2k counters. So, but that's Hiyori. Hiyori, good card, Land of Wano. Our next 2 costs is our lovely favorite, Onami. Onami. Very strong card. On play, you give banish to your leader or to your characters. Very strong card. Has a 1k counter, 2 cost, 3000 power, and the trigger is a Thunderbolt trigger. So if you trigger this card, you KO a 5 cost or less. No, this card cannot be played though. So you just trigger and then put it straight into trash. If not, you can just add it to your hand. But very good card. You can also use this card for the Hiyori combo, Sanji combo. It's just very good. That's why I love this card. So 4 Onamis. You can run 3 if you want, because I've seen some people run 3. 3 Onamis is fine. Our next card is our top card. From our top cards is Capone. Beige. So 3 cost, 3k power, 2k counter, and the trigger is one of your opponent's leaders or characters cannot attack this turn. So very strong card. This card definitely saves you a lot in late game. If you get this card early game, just don't trigger it. Just add it to your hand because you have a 2k counter. But this card definitely saves and changes games a lot. Like, this card has saved me a couple of times. Not all the time, though. From certain situations. So, very good card. Definitely run 4. Again, there's no searcher in this deck. But hopefully it'll be in your life and then it saves you from endgame. Our next card is one of the new cards. Top cards we have is Kikunojo. Kikunojo, or Kiku. Very good card. It's a 4 cost, 6k power, and no counter, unfortunately. But on play, well, not on play, on KO, if your leader has 3 life or less, then you can heal basically. Add the top card of your deck to their top of your life. Very good. And you can play this card for free if your opponent has 3 life or less. So make sure your opponent has 3 life or less. And if you know if this card is in your deck, or I should say not in your deck, in your life, and you add it with Hiyori, just make sure your opponent has 3 life or less so you can just play it for free. Because if your opponent does not have 3 life or less and you get this card from your life, you cannot play it. And this card is basically dead in your hand. You would have to forcibly play it before dawn. So very good card. Definitely run 4. Very good like free body on board in the mid to late game. So run 4 Kikunojos. Our next card is Satori. 2k counter, 5 cost, 5,000 power. Again, this card is very strong. You can play this for free. Well, not for free. You play it. You basically get a free body on board, but you have to trash a card to play this card on the field. So that's the trigger. So good for countering, good for having a free body on board. You can obviously add this to the top of your life with Hiyori, and then if once your opponent gets the first swing, just take it and then just play Satori. So very good. It's a free body on board and it's a 5 cost, so it will take a lot to remove it. They probably can't remove it, and then once it's your turn, you have 2 swings in your early game. Our next card is It's 2 Momonosuke's. So I run 2 Momonosuke. He's a blocker, and on play you add up to any of your Wano characters other than Momo to the top of your life, which is very good because if you play Kikunojo or you have Hiyori, Kikunojo, you play this card, and then after you swing with Kikunojo or you have a Hiyori on top, you literally just add them to the top of your life, and then boom, you have a free life. If you want to do the play where you swing with Kikunojo, but then you want to keep her alive, and you want to heal, play Momo, add Kikunojo to the top of your life, and then boom, you're good. So, very, very good card. It's a blocker, 5 cost, 6k. I only run 2 because if you run 4, it's like bricky. It has no counter, so very good card. Definitely a good card to play in certain situations. Next, I run 3 Gadatsus. I used to run 4, but I feel like 3 is fine. 4 Gadatsus is a little too much, but if you want to run 4 Gadatsus, go right ahead. But Gadatsu, 5 cost, 6,000 power on play. KO up to one of your opponent's characters based on the life that the opponent has. So if they play a Riju, for example, they have 4 life still, boom, play Gadatsu, kill the Riju. Oh, they have a 2-cost blocker and they have 2 life or more? Alright, kill the 2-cost blocker. It's a very good card to play early game. Not really well in the late game, so I usually use it for counter in late game, possibly mid game, it depends. But definitely a good card to play early game. So I run 3 Gadatsus. Good body on board. Our next card is 4 Shirahoshis. So Shirahoshi, very good card. On play, draw 3, trash 2. And also on trigger as well, you can play the card. It's a 5 cost, 0 power. Definitely can do combos with this card, but 1k counter as well. So I love this card. Obviously, you just need like 1, maybe 2 Shirahoshis, and then you're fine. Like if you have 2 in your hand, just use it for counter. But having this in life and you knowing it's in life is pretty good. So very, very good card. 4 Shirahoshi. If you want to reduce it to 3, go right ahead. I've seen some Enos don't run it, but I feel like they should. I know in Katakuri you don't run it in this meta. I play 1 Enel Rusher, which is what I removed the 4th Gadatsu for. I love this card. This is a tech card for me, as if I get this card early and I'm like ahead or even with my opponent, and if it's the opponent's playing a leader that's like relies on late game, like for example Katakuri, I just want to play this right away and swing so I can have a rush and put pressure on them because you know you don't want them to get the 10 cost Big Mom. But really good card. If you don't need it, you don't need it, but obviously it's a 7/7, and then this card can be saved from being removed in any way, once per turn. Unless they have a Monkey D. Luffy, then obviously you can't use the effect. But you trash a life from your, you trash a card from your life just to keep him alive. So I run 1 Enel, but if you don't want to run him, don't worry about it. I like to run him because I like to have him on a rush. Our one of our top cards is Katakuri. 4 Katakuris. Very good card. 8/8, no counter. On play, place of 8 cost or less card to on the top or bottom of either your life or your opponent's life. I like to use this to remove Gekomorias, or if I have a Shirahoshi on the board, I can add Shirahoshi to the top or bottom of my life. Mostly the top, so I can like draw 3 and trash 2. I can basically change up my hand in case I'm looking for counters and stuff. So it's very good because if you have a dead hand and it looks like your opponent's gonna like try to end game or hit your life a lot, then play this with Shirahoshi combo is very good. Same with Kiko Nojo as well. You can play any 8 cost or less, so it's really good. 4 Katakuris. Alright, my favorite card out of the entire deck is our last character is Yamato. 9 cost, 9k Yamato. Oh, this art's very beautiful. The Yamato is on play. What's it called? KO up to one of your opponent's characters based on both your life. So basically your own life and the opponent's life. So say I have 3 life and they have 5 life. Boom, you can KO 8 costs or less. Or I have 1 life, they have 2 life, 3 life, boom. 1 life, 2 life, boom, you KO 3 or less. And if you have 1 life or less, you can heal, obviously. So take the top card of your deck and add it to the top of your life. So this is a very good card. I love this card. So if you have this in hand and you want to set up the Yamato, make sure you have 1 life or less. So you can basically play the Yamato, KO one of the opponent's like low-cost cards or mid-cost. It depends on how much life they have. And then you heal and you'll be at 2 life. And you have a big body on board, 9 cost, 9k. So very hard to remove unless they got the card, like Ice Age. Then, yep. But I run 4. No counter, unfortunately, because it's too strong. That's all our characters. Now we have our events. I'm running 4 rejects. Now, I know 4 reject is kind of too much. I do like the trigger on the reject because you can draw a free card. The thing with reject is this card will be banned in OP-07. So I'm only using this card for this set. And then I'm going to have to figure out what I want to add to replace the rejects. I usually run 3, but I want to try 4 for now. But it's up to you, or maybe even 2. But reject is a strong card. You choose 1. KO a 5 cost or less, which this is for 4 Dawn, remember. Or, if your opponent has 1 life, then you may deal damage to the opponent's life. Which, keep in mind, it's not going to trash, they're adding into hand. So if you want to end the game and have 1 life, play reject. And if you have a full board, or depending on what's in your board, and you're going to go for game, this is a very good card. You play, and then you damage their last life so that you can just go straight for game. But you gotta keep in mind, if that last life could be a 2k, and, you know, it might save them, it might not save them, but it depends. Oh yeah, also if you use the deal 1 damage to your life, you also have to take a life as well, on your side as well. So, or just remember that. So you gotta play very smart. So basically both sides are losing life. But yeah, play it smart, basically. Because if you play this card and then you can't end game, then you kind of screwed yourself. So this is more of a late game, where when you play this card and you want to damage your life, you go for game. You don't just damage it. Unless you know you're good, but you have to obviously go for game. So I run 4 of them, but if you want to reduce to 3, maybe 2, go right ahead. I might do the same. Add maybe 2 more 2Ks, or who knows. It's up to you guys. And then I run 3 2 million votes. A very strong card from OP-05. 2 cost, give up to +3 to your leader or character, and if you have 1 life or less, you rest up a 4 cost or less. So if they have a Borsalino or a 2 cost blocker, you may rest it. Very, very good card. And obviously the trigger is if you have... Oh, you heal, basically, if you trash 2 cards. So very good card for endgame too, because if you trigger this from your last life, and you still have your lead effect, and you have 2 cards or more, boom, you're going to heal twice. Not because of lead effect, but from this as well. It doesn't. You can choose any order, but regardless, you're going to go back to 2 life instead of 1 if you get this from last life, and you still have your lead effect. So this card definitely changes the game. Very good combo with the Hiyori as well. Maybe the Sanji, but definitely good for the Hiyori combo. So I run 3. I feel like 4 is a little too much. And then our last card is, I might add another 1 or 2 to replace the reject, is this card, the new card. The 0 cost, +3000 event. Basically, you trash a card and you gain +3000. It's like one of those cards that each color has. Like Gum Gum. I call it the Gum Gum because It's basically mostly Gum Gum, but it's not Gum Gum. So, what's it called? The trigger is though. You can also heal from this as well. The thing is, you have to have 1 life or less, or 0 life. Or should I say depending on the situation. It says here in the trigger that you basically can heal, but you trash 1 card though. But remember, you have to be at 0 life, if I'm not mistaken. 1 life, 0 life. Yeah, it says right there. You trash a card, but if you get triggered this early, it doesn't work. So just take it into your hand. But I might add another one and replace a reject to have 3 rejects and 2 of these. But I run 1 for now, so very good. But very good card. But if you want to run 2, which I think 2 is better, I'll probably try that and get rid of a reject, run 3 rejects. So, but yeah, that's it. That is our Enel deck profile, and hopefully I explained to all of you guys perfectly. I apologize if I made a mistake or say anything wrong. I'm still new to doing the deck profile thing, even though it seems like I haven't. Even though I've been uploading matches more, but I'm still slacking. But hopefully you guys enjoy the deck list profile, and let me know your thoughts. Give me suggestions, or you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to follow my social media and everything. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.